Today's guest is Stephen Berney. Here's our job talk with a crime scene investigator.
Welcome to the Job Talk podcast, where we talk with people who love their jobs. Our guests open up about their challenges, surprises, and secrets to success in their industries. Through conversation, we explore their careers, past work experiences, and the education that got them to where they are now. This is the shortened version from our in-depth conversation. Please visit thejobtalk.com to find the full episode.
What brought you to becoming a crime scene investigator?
It's funny with policing is there's so many different places you can go and look to go within the EPS especially as a constable. There's just, depending on where your interest lies. So pretty early on in my career, I had a lot of exposure to the crime scenes team, kind of what they do, what files they work on, how they can assist in your investigations, and that just immediately kind of drew me into the unit, and the idea of being able to help identify a suspect where you have nothing, there's no video surveillance, there's no witnesses, no eyewitnesses, and that little piece, that little drop of blood or that fingerprint that an investigator can find might totally change the scope of the case. And it didn't hurt to have my uncle actually was a crime scene investigator for about 12 years before me. So I had a lot of opportunities to ask him questions, and he kind of fostered my interest in a lot of ways and kind of told me the good, the bad, and the ugly of the job. So I had a really good understanding, I think, going in. So I just love the idea of being able to assist in an investigation where maybe there's dead ends everywhere, but we might be able to provide that one avenue that you'll have a suspect or at least something to follow up on.
What kind of cases do you work on? It's probably not all just homicide, I'm assuming.
No. There's basically, if you can think of the crime type, we'll work on it if there's something there for us to do. So there's anything from a recovered stolen vehicle that has drink containers, blood in it or anything like that, or even just applying fingerprint powder to the inside of recovered vehicles or on the outside. There's typically your break-in enters. We go to a lot of those, especially for people's houses and businesses, some of the industrial stuff as well. Robberies, there's sexual assaults and assaults of all types. As you mentioned, there's homicides that we if there's a homicide, we're out there every time. But there's basically any time there's a victim and there's any chance that there's forensic evidence, being the DNA or the fingerprints, we're typically there and working on those files with investigators to try to obviously help their investigation and provide as much evidence as possible.
What are some misconceptions about crime scene investigators?
I think the main ones typically come from your CSI shows or your movies that have that crime scene element. Unfortunately, I'm not as cool as like Horatio with my sunglasses and my suit. I'm just in the uniform you see now, and I just pass on the information to the investigator, and they get to do all the cool stuff, like go try to arrest the suspect potentially, or use our tactical team. Unfortunately, they try to, I think in the crime scene, the CSI show rather, they meld the investigator, tactical, and crime scenes into one position where they're just super cool, chasing down the bad guy after they already get the DNA hit. So that's one. And then actually a really common one too is, I believe it's the Dark Knight, the Batman movie, the Batman is in his lab and he's shooting like a big machine gun type thing at a brick wall.
Yeah.
And he manages to use a computer software to put the bullet back together, and then there's a magical perfect fingerprint on there. I wish that we could do that. That is super cool, but that's not something within the realm of possibility for us. Those are the typical ones, thinking that we could get a fingerprint off of anything no matter what it's gone through. So
are there any surprises that you've experienced through your career as a crime scene investigator?
I think the main thing I was surprised at is how long it took to feel fully competent and confident in your abilities, just because you're walking into you think it's a simple break and enter, there's just so many different things to look at and consider, and so many different chemical processes you can use to develop fingerprints, or different ways and innovative ways of thinking about how to try to develop or locate forensic evidence. I was a police officer for 5 years, and I feel like I'm going back to the very beginning again, even though I've been to tons and tons of break-and enters. It's pretty much the same forensically, but you don't got another shot, so you have to really be on your game.
Thank you for tuning in to the Job Talk podcast. For more information, please visit us at thejobtalk.com.